Welcome to Iraqi Dinar News, where you receive real and authentic updates about the Iraqi dinar. If you want to stay informed with moment-by-moment developments, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. In today's update, we are taking a careful, analytical, and grounded look at a circulating claim within parts of the dinar community. The claim suggests that several so-called bond contacts have indicated a specific day, Wednesday, as a potential payout date, and that this event could somehow trigger broader currency movements. Right from the beginning, it is important to emphasize that even the source of this information frames it as a rumor and expresses uncertainty about its accuracy. So the key question becomes, how should this type of information be evaluated, and what, if anything, does it realistically mean for those following the Iraqi dinar? To begin with, rumors tied to specific dates have been a recurring pattern in the dinar space for many years. These claims often involve insider sources, unnamed contacts, or references to financial events happening behind the scenes. However, when we analyze such statements from a professional financial perspective, several red flags immediately appear. The first is the lack of verifiable data. There are no official confirmations, no statements from central banking authorities, and no documentation from recognized financial institutions supporting this claim. The second concern is the mechanism being suggested, the idea that bond payments, especially unspecified or loosely defined bond contacts, could directly trigger a currency revaluation or significant currency movement, is not aligned with how global financial systems operate. Sovereign currencies, including the Iraqi dinar, are influenced by macroeconomic fundamentals, monetary policy decisions, foreign exchange reserves, inflation levels, and international trade dynamics. They are not typically driven by isolated or private financial transactions. Now, let's take a step back and understand what might be behind these types of rumors. In some cases, discussions about bonds may relate to legitimate financial instruments, such as Iraqi government bonds or international debt restructuring efforts. Iraq has, in the past, engaged in various financial reforms and debt management strategies. However, these processes are structured, transparent, and usually communicated through official channels, such as the central bank or the Ministry of Finance. They are not sudden, secretive events tied to a specific day that immediately ripple into currency valuation changes. Another possibility is that these rumors stem from misunderstandings or misinterpretations of complex financial processes. For example, bond settlements, liquidity injections, or fiscal policy adjustments may be happening in the background as part of Iraq's broader economic development. But these events are gradual and coordinated, not abrupt triggers that cause overnight transformations in the currency market. From a short-term perspective, the realistic implication of this rumor is very limited. There is no credible evidence suggesting that a specific Wednesday payout event will lead to any immediate change in the Iraqi dinar's value. Currency markets do not respond to unverified claims, and institutional investors rely on confirmed data, policy announcements, and measurable economic indicators before making decisions. In fact, reacting to rumors like this can sometimes lead to unnecessary speculation and volatility within smaller, less regulated communities. It is important for viewers and investors to remain grounded and avoid making decisions based on unconfirmed timelines or anonymous sources. Looking at the broader context, Iraq's economic trajectory does show signs of gradual reform and development. The country has been working on strengthening its banking sector, improving transparency, increasing non-oil revenue streams, and stabilizing its monetary policy framework. These are the types of factors that over time can influence currency stability and confidence. However, these changes are incremental. They require coordination between multiple institutions, including the central bank, government ministries, and international partners. They also depend on external factors such as global oil prices, geopolitical stability, and regional economic conditions. None of these elements operate on a sudden, single-day trigger. From a long-term perspective, what truly matters for the Iraqi dinar is the continuation of structural reforms. This includes improving financial governance, enhancing the efficiency of the banking system, reducing corruption, and maintaining fiscal discipline. These are the foundations that support a stronger and more stable currency over time. It is also worth noting that central banks are typically very cautious when it comes to currency valuation. Any significant change in exchange rate policy is usually communicated clearly and implemented in a controlled manner to avoid market disruption. Sudden, unannounced shifts based on unrelated financial events would undermine confidence rather than strengthen it. Another important aspect to consider is the role of expectations within the dinar community. Over the years, repeated exposure to date-based rumors can create a cycle of anticipation and disappointment. This can lead to emotional decision-making, which is not ideal in any financial context. A more sustainable approach is to focus on verified developments and maintain a long-term perspective. So, how should viewers approach this specific rumor about bond contacts and a Wednesday payout? The most responsible approach is to treat it exactly as it is being presented, a rumor with no confirmed backing. It should not be used as a basis for financial decisions, nor should it be interpreted as an indicator of imminent currency changes. Instead, it is more productive to monitor official announcements from Iraqi financial authorities and credible international organizations. These sources provide the kind of information that actually influences market behavior and investor confidence. At the same time, it is important to acknowledge that interest in Iraq's economy and currency remains strong. This interest is driven by the country's natural resources, its strategic position in the region, and its ongoing efforts to modernize its financial system. These are legitimate factors that contribute to long-term potential, but they operate within a framework of gradual progress rather than sudden events. In conclusion, while the idea of a specific day triggering major financial changes can be appealing, it does not align with how global financial systems function. The claim about bond contacts being paid on Wednesday and triggering currencies lacks verification, lacks a clear mechanism, and does not fit within established economic principles. For Iraqi dinar followers, the key takeaway is to remain informed, stay cautious, and prioritize credible information over speculation. Short-term rumors may come and go, but long-term value is built on fundamentals, policy decisions, and economic stability. Thank you for watching. If you want to continue receiving responsible, factual, and analytical updates on the Iraqi dinar, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. And as always, this content is provided for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice.